Good day, I am Adrian Atkinson and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 16, 2023. After a fish kill in July 2022, which threatened the livelihoods of fishers in the Rio Cobre watershed, the National Fisheries Authority is reporting that a restocking exercise has now been successfully completed. The exercise, which got underway on June 30, was one of the measures employed to restore the river's fish population after the fish kill. UC Rosal Windalco was issued 2 special permits to restock with fry and fingerling tilapia at multiple locations within the Rio Cobre watershed in St. Catherine. 20,000 seed stock were released over the duration of both permits from June 30 to October 31. With that exercise completed, the National Fisheries Authority says Windalco is now required to submit a final environmental assessment report. The company was also issued with a fish habitat protection order, which is in effect as of October 1, 2023, and will remain in effect until the authority is satisfied that there are no further threats to the fish habitat within the Rio Cobre watershed due to the work of Windalco. The order requires that Windalco takes all necessary steps to prevent any future release of deleterious substances into the watershed. If there is any such release, the company must notify the Fisheries Authority within 24 hours, remedy any pollution situation without undue delay, and restore the fish habitat to a satisfactory condition. The distribution of 3,000 black tanks under the pilot phase of government's Rural Water Household Resilient Program has started. The initiative was announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness during his budget presentation earlier this year as part of measures to significantly improve water resilience. It involves the distribution of 50,000 black tanks to residents of rural communities over the next 5 years. This first distribution of 400-gallon tanks is expected to be completed by the end of December in constituencies that were hardest hit by the drought. Residents will also be provided with supporting infrastructure for rainwater harvesting. Senator Matthew Samuda provided an update while tabling the National Water Resources Master Plan and the rainwater harvesting guidelines in the Senate recently.
Each location that a tank is installed will be mapped and geotagged to ensure accountability, but also to ensure we start the process of properly assessing the true national storage capacity for water.
The Inter-American Development Bank has provided grant funding of $60 million to purchase the tanks. Another $250 million is coming from the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation through the Rural Water Agency to facilitate the coordination of the project and the deployment of water harvesting systems and tanks. The program will be expanded to include all rural constituencies once the pilot phase is completed. Government has launched an island-wide pilot project to distribute solar-powered lamps to households that do not have access to electricity. The initiative is being actioned by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. 1,000 lamps will be distributed across the 63 constituencies in the initial phase. Portfolio Minister Darrell Vaz presented a set of 10 lamps each to 3 members of Parliament in St. James last Friday. He says MPs will receive a letter in Parliament explaining how to collect the lamps.
Each of the 63 constituencies will get, and depending on the feedback on this, then next year, in next year's budget, we will provide a substantial amount, maybe 5,000-10,000, that we can give a substantial amount to each member of Parliament to go into the various communities to find those persons who are still existing without any form of electricity.
Minister Vaz says the aim of the project is to reduce the risks and hazards associated with using alternative lighting sources such as kerosene lamps.
I hope that this will absolutely save possessions, property and life, as we have seen too many people that have suffered.
And finally, Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green has announced that agriculture-focused educational institutions will be prioritized for the receipt of new bulk storage tanks for milk production. The tanks are expected to help students develop the skills needed to increase milk output. The effort is consistent with the ministry's focus on food security, of which the minister says increasing milk production is an important component.
We're procuring now 5 new bulk storage tanks, and we're going to be providing 1 here in Hillside. We're going to be targeting NCU, we're going to be targeting Ebony Park, we're going to be targeting Sydney Pagan over there in St. Elizabeth, and they will all get a storage tank courtesy of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Jamaica Dairy Development Board.
Minister Green was speaking during a recent handover ceremony for a communal milking parlour in Hillside, St. Thomas. He promised that the ministry, through its research arm, the Borders Research Station, was also designing a system in which farmers producing hay and silage would be provided with the appropriate equipment. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching.